Hey man, what's your bacon?
You gotta tell everybody what that means first.
It's that extra side topping or main course in life that makes everything about your day even better.
Whether it's movies, music, cooking, paranormal, video games, whatever it is that helps you unwind, maybe even get a little bit inspired. We talk to hot new bands.
We are Felicity.
Hey, this is Bradley from Emerosa.
TV personalities.
Hi, my name is Rachel Pizzolatto.
Hi, my name is Patty Magley.
Wrestling personalities.
Hi everybody, I am Eric Bischoff, WWE Hall of Famer, Godfather here.
Actors.
This is Sean Kanan. Thank you for joining us.
Fellow podcasters.
Emo Social Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Schrader.
Pretty much any like-minded creative across all facets of the entertainment industry.
You can check out Bacon is My Podcast on all streaming platforms, as well as the Strangerhood TV YouTube channel. New episodes dropping every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Listen in when we find the answer to the question,
What's your bacon?
Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone, this is Memphis Mark coming to you on May 9th. We're going to do the NXT review for the upcoming premium event, I guess you would say, Battleground. But tonight it's the first show after the draft. And I have to say, Zoe Stark, I think, showed up and showed out. I like that. So I guess we can just go ahead and jump into the review. Tonight they started off with Indy was there, talking about, or they did the recap of her relinquishing the belt and setting up this tournament they're going to have. Now, they're going to have a women's top 8 for the title. For the ladies, championship. And so the first match is going to end up being Trish Stratton and Gigi. And, Trish has come a long way. I normally refer to, because when they first got in, I have to say her, Soul, and the new young lady that just come in, they're gymnasts and they're coming in, but you have to take the bumps. And everybody can do it in school while they're down there and going through the training. And I know most of these people are professionals already and have traveled through the indie circuits and everything, but as far as the gymnasts that come in, these people have to learn to take the knocks for a long period of time. Anybody can come in there for 6 weeks and go, hey, I did it, look at me, and they're in shape, but maintain that shape and then carry on. But anyway, I'm getting off course. But as far as tonight's match, Trish, I really think kind of took it up a notch, man. She had she had a strong stomp in there that I saw. She ended with her version of the moonsault. I mean, she had a solid match. She sold good. I can't complain on anything on that. But now Gigi can do the promos, and she can do all the pictures and do all the Instagram and do everything. But as far as in ring, she just seems a tad bit slow. And I know they were playing off the bad shoulder tonight and everything, but just I don't know. I think Trish may have surpassed somebody like an ex-lady tag team champion that should be far above Trish, I would think. But no. All right, so And then there was one other thing. I hate to harp so much on this, but when Gigi did get a chance to make her push, her offensive push, I'm getting a little tired of now Shinsuke. He does a deal where he buries himself in the ground and says, "Come on," and he does the finger motion, "Come on." And I'm seeing a lot of these wrestlers using that finger motion, "Come on, come on," but now they're directing traffic in the ring. And it's a little funny. I think Gigi it's like, okay, now come towards me. And it's like directing traffic. And I don't like it. I think they're overdoing it a little bit. But that's, there again, that's just an old guy's opinion. That's my get off the lawn moment, or get off my lawn moment. But they go into a Dyad Schism moment, a little promo, and look, Gacy comes out and he says that, look, he's gonna take Ava's advice, and he's gonna do something for himself. All right, so I'm thinking maybe Cancun, Aruba, Turks Caicos, something like that. But I don't know. But he does have terrific looking glasses if you're 71 or above. Look, if you're over 70, these are the coolest. I'm sure they block every ray. But anyway, they do the good little promo, and Gacy, says, "Hey, we're going to send Ava out to the ring, and you just do what I would do, because they are 4 roots, 1 tree." So after good little promo, and then they got Trick and Mello, and they got him in the barbershop. I think it's called Cutwise or something like that, and they're chilling in the barbershop, and that's a common thing, and it's a great place to go. It's I don't know for the female side, because I've never done it that way, but I can say on the male side, some good conversation, or you'll hear some outrageous UF story. You never know when you go into the barbershop, at least the way I go and the way I was brought up. But anyway, they're chilling at the barbershop, and Trick comes out and says, "Hey, I'm on a new level." But I mean, he's saying he's been training and he's ready, because, I'm on a new level. So, he's ready for Bron. And and Mello goes, "Hey, I'm not medically cleared to compete. So, hey, we've got a match for our main event, which will be Trick versus Bron Breakker." And so, then after that, we've got a tag team championship match. And this actually is a good match. You got Dyad, which is, of course, part of Schism, and you got Ava out there too, and you've got the tag champs. You've got the old school guys out there. You got the Coffee Brothers, you got Wolfgang, and they come out there, and this, it's going to be a good match, and it actually is a good match. This is one, if you have a short on time and you want to go back and look at a shorter version of the show, this is the first one you start off with, Dyad and Gallus, and it's a great match. Look, you have Booker T making a Freebird reference, so that's how they, that's pretty high accolades. I mean, P.S. Michael Hayes, and back then I knew him as Michael Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Bigelow, or not Bam Bigelow, oh my goodness, but Terry Bam Bam, and they had a couple different guys in their trio, but look, in the Dallas area, the Freebirds tore it up. They saved the territory towards the end. So that's a very high praise. But anyway, we go back to the match, and the match is actually good. Gallus, of course, is old school. They've got that tie-up, wrap it up. They give you that feel of Billy Robinson. The younger people would, your younger people's parents would know Steve Regal, when he wrestled. That European tough style. Man, they pull it off to a T. And so the match is a few minutes in, and then you've got Stacks and Tony, they're up in the Muffet, the Abe Lincoln suite up in the top of the place, so. And from up there, I'm sure they can see Mr. Fowler's of Dyad's his freshly shaved head, because he's tan in that head. But anyway, it looked pretty funny on a big screen TV when he got in the headlock. But good match, man. Wolfgang, wow. These guys are old school. They just never disappoint. You got a little taste of like Ole and Arn versus the first time the Rock and Roll Express come in. They were doing some moves, and Ole and Arn were the tied up and ground and pound, or maybe the Midnight Express, or input your own tag team that was popular for a 4 or 5 year period in your younger years, and that's what I'm referring to. The Dyad did some great moves, some flips, some guy ducks down, somebody he's able to use him for a stepping stone up for a big move in a corner. So some good tag team wrestling. Mark Coffey though is just a beast. He's as strong as can be. So a good match. And then Ava gets involved. And during this, they did play a little clip to where, like, the Creed brothers were making fun with the mask with Ivy now, and she told them, it ain't funny. So Ava gets involved in this match one time. She pulls a foot under or whatever it may be, and then the second time she climbs up on that apron, and that's when Ivy now comes out and lays the smacketh downeth. And so it causes distractions, big move by Gallus, bam! Gallus wins. So that's how that goes. A little Chase U promo after that, with the guys wondering where Andre is, and they're waiting on Duke because he's grading papers. But Big Body Javi comes in, trying to get a little airtime there, and he when he talks to Duke when he arrives after grading papers, which Thea apparently got an 88 on, kind of not digging this so much, but they did turn it into a match, so Big Body is setting it up going, hey, when you do take over, Chase U, and Duke does have a slip up, so they are setting that up somewhat. And then, the match, you got Duke and Javi, and look, Thea's nuts. They're both good. It's kind of self-explanatory on how the match is going to go. Javi's going to sell. Duke is going to have some big moves. Duke doing the Razor Ramon, the cutting edge, that's how I remember that move. I just remember that Scott Hall really took it to another level, because I'd seen other people do it when Scott Hall did it before Razor Ramon, the bad guy, before all that. Duke wins. Okay, so you had the match, the Gallus match earlier I told you to go watch. All right, so, and then they bring Von Wagner and Mr. Stone in, and they do a little promo with him. And they're doing a little word association and doing a little something. Okay, filler time. I'm not bad with it. And then they keep bringing Von's picture back up, a childhood picture where he had some surgery. And they bring some jabroni in to make a joke about it. And, of course, Von's going to snatch him up. And they have a comical end to that. Yeah. And then, of course, after that, after Ivy gets involved, you got a little clash with the Gallus guys and the Creed brothers. So they got to talk a little smack 'em, and they will have another match. But, hey, look, they've got Eddie Thorpe and Damon Kemp coming out for a match. And look, Eddie Thorpe is following in the Native American theme. He comes out with a modern version of what I used to see Wahoo McDaniel or several other Native Indian wrestlers that would come out, and they would wear their native ring garb and everything. It was a great show. It was a 3 or 4 minute entrance and everything. So Eddie Thorpe, a great kid, looks really like a modern day Wahoo McDaniel with the big chops and everything. So and you got Damon Kemp, which is freaking great ring wise because of his MMA background. But look, Damon's been working, and it's like he's in time, but he's a little slow. I mean, he's that close. I can see a faction or something coming up because he's almost ready. But look, they had a pretty good match. Eddie gets the win in this, so Damon is going to give him the push. But Damon keeps impressing me. He's a solid prospect. And of course, after that, they do a little Bron promo, and Bron's kind of, tweets out or Instagram or whatever these wacky kids are doing today. But he puts out a message that he's going to put Trick in the same hospital that he put Mello. So that is the update on that. So, but we go from there to a Dragunov and Dijak match. And look, Dragunov is freaking great. I love him. Since finding him about a year ago and going back through some tape and everything, I freaking love him. And Dijak's big. And so they have a match, and they're building Dijak. But they got a match. Dragunov comes out, man, and his chops. His entrance is great and everything, but man, he starts off the match with just echoing chops to the chest, just lights Dijak's chest up. And Dijak took it tonight, for a while, and then of course, everybody's got to sell, but tonight I saw not a young Bob Backlund, but I saw a seasoned Bob Backlund with Dragunov. So man, it was just a good match because, man, look, Dragunov is not going to let you down. Dijak, he threw Dragunov at one point in the match, and he threw him like a rag doll. And that was pretty impressive on that, that one thing. But the ending was weak. Dijak goes out and gets a chair. He brings a chair in. And he throws the ref. He gets him outside. He does the, I guess you'd say, the Alabama whoop on him outside. He pushed the stairs over, and you've got a gap in there, and it just didn't look good. They pinned Dragunov up under the ring steps, and Dragunov got up and stood on him victorious, and all of that good stuff. It's almost like he had enough room for a puppy up under there or something. It wasn't a good look. Weekend. But mention mentioning Tyler Bate, which, man, you put Tyler Bate and Dragunov together, you got the modern day, Hollywood Blondes or something like that. But anyway, you got Tyler, a little promo with Tyler Bate and Wes Lee. Wes Lee lets him know that, hey, you were there for me last week. I will be there. But, Wes drops a little good one. They're in the steam room, and Tyler's doing meditation and everything. And he walks in and he goes, I hadn't seen this much smoke since I was hanging around with Riddle. So I kind of like that, good little reference there. Get him back on some drug rehab there if they anyway, they go from that to a Charlie Dempsey and Tyler Bate match. The mega leg guy, man, he looks like freaking tree stumps. Charlie Dempsey, just another reference back to Billy Robinson, man. Just a solid wrestler, a solid match. You go back and watch this one. This is 2 matches now that you can watch. European style, just good match, just freaking, they got a Claudio type spin by, it's just a good match. Now, Dempsey's going to end up winning this match, but it's not without controversy. So, of course, you got to get Gacy involved, and then Wes gets involved, and then Drew gets involved. And I'm blaming it on Gacy's glasses, but Gacy gets a cheap shot in, rolls up. Dragunov, it is what it is. Dempsey wins the match, and they're building towards it. So, I got no problem with this, but this is not a good, bad match. So go back and watch this, They come back with a little quick promo that Mello sees the tweet that Bron put out, so he decides not to get lined up tonight, and he's just going to go on back and stand by his man, or stand by his friend. So they go back that, and after that, they go into a Brooks and Briggs. Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen going against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. And Tank Ledger, tough guy, loses a tooth in this match. So you got to love a guy that if he didn't lose it, he sold it. So Hank Walker and Tank say they want to get some repetition. They need in-ring time. So, they get the match with their good old buds, and they start off like a haymaker. They just go into it and they're tearing butt up. So good start, good energy with the whole match. You got some young guys, but in this situation, Brooks and Briggs are both the elder statesmen, as you would say. But yeah, pretty good match. They kick a little butt. Tank loses a tooth and they shake hands. Sounds like a Tipton County or a Memphis a Friday or Saturday night in some places I ran back in the day. But they go into a promo with this Noam Dar, and they're really pushing him, and they got him with Dragon League coming up, but Nathan Frazier comes looking like a freaking rock star out of this. A good segment. He's even passing the torch on the little promo segment, the little talk show to Dar, and just good. I think Mr. Frazier's is called Enlighten, I think is what he calls it, but wow, good segment, not just a filler in time. And then they go back for the second round of the qualifying matches for the ladies' title against Kiana James and Lyra Vaquera. And then, strong match. And this is another go back and watch, because I'm going to tell you, both these ladies, they could be competing in the main rosters. Look, man, they put on a hell of a match. I got to say, I was, pleasantly surprised. I hold it to a Charlotte Flair kind of degree of everything. But look, man, it was a great match. Both ladies, I think, got over. I mean, it was solid. Val wins. I didn't like the setup towards the end, but hey, man, these ladies are going to be knocking on some doors. So they go from that to, Tony D and Stacks. They just roll up in Gallus's pub and try to get a title shot. And they roll up in there, and Joe Coffey, I think he takes it a little offensive, and Tony lets him know, hey, you're stateside, you're here. I got friends. And then towards the end, there's a tire checker, a 18-wheeler tire checker that's brought up, or I call it an attention getter. And some other backup comes up, and the guys decide to, hey, live to fight another day. So from there, you're going to have Trick and Bron in a good match. I got to say, the crowd was really behind Trick, of course, but man, Trick's got the look. He's so close on the mic. Being from Memphis, Whoop That Trick is played at all of our athletic events and everything. It's a Memphis song. And so, yeah, they were hollering that, with the good look, hey, look, Bron, I'm really digging the switch. I really like the switch, and Bron's taken to it pretty easy. Hey, could he pull an upset tonight, but when they start the match out, Trix comes out strong, and he's picking Bron up and moving Bron. And a lot of times, like when they were doing the Goldberg push, whenever Goldberg, they did put him up against somebody that tried to give a good look, he didn't look right. When they were like shoulder tackling him or moving him into the corner to set up for move, he just didn't look right. Early in Brock's career, the same types of, you can go back to some of the MMA guys back from the 90s, Kim Shamrock, but they learned and they got to it. And Bron showed me that he had that like, oh my gosh, can't believe I'm getting picked up kind of look, and I think it would sell. I think he's really pulling this off, I mean, the crowd was behind Trick. Trick had a couple big, chances towards the end. I like it. I like the match was good. I mean, I definitely say go back and watch it. So you got 3 matches out of this show that I recommend, 2 men's, 1 ladies. Bron brings up the kind of Scott Steiner look, some of his actions, he does the push-ups and, he can do it all day, so Bron may be kind of on a different level in this kind of deal. But, he gets a big spear, he does the recliner, the Steiner recliner. And, of course, he's going to go back after the match and throw down on him and put him in the hospital. And once he gets started, Mello, of course, comes out, and Mello does his thing, and he does a couple of little things, but then he gets caught, and he gets caught coming off those ropes with his move and speared out of his boots. Bron looks great. The show goes off the air. So that is going to give you a little review there of the NXT show this week. So guys, I hope this sounds okay. I had to do it from a different studio today, so I hope everything sounds okay. And as always, we're just going to end it. If you can rescue, please do. Puppies are doing great for everyone. And spay and neuter as always. And real quickly, I want to give a quick shout out to Matt our founder and the boss guy up in the big state of New York, representing on, I believe it was MSNBC or CNBC, just one of the big networks, talking about the merger. So getting the WWE podcast out there in prime time, you go, my man. But anyway, guys, this is Memphis Mark, and of course, you know what's up. I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.